Good morning, guys. Happy New Year 2025. Um, it is my prayer that this year is going to come to you with a lot of success in whatever you do, both in family, career. May our good Lord show His presence in your life. May He manifest in different ways. May 2025 not be as 2024. May you go out there this year. May you face your fears. May you conquer all of them. So for those guys who are new, this is Chris. I'm a recovery coach and also a recovering addict. Um, I've been making a series of videos about the journey, and especially in this case, my recovery journey. And as we progress, I'm going to be giving you tips on how to remain clean and sober. I quit the use of substance 8 years ago. Um, no bouncing back to the use since I stopped or I drank my last bottle of beer. So in my previous video, I did an introduction about the journey, my how I got to develop dependence to the use of alcohol and substance. And just give a brief. If you haven't watched the video, you can go back to my YouTube channel and watch the video so that as we progress, we are at one page. You don't lose anything. So in this video, I'm going to be speaking about um, how I got to realize that I had a problem. One of the things that got me to realize that I had a drinking problem was personal crisis. I was in a crisis, and deep within me, I was screaming for help. I just didn't know, or my ego didn't let me know where I was gonna get this help from. So some of the things that happened that led to my personal crisis was one, me having to lose a job, and not just one, two jobs. So after I lost my jobs in my previous video, I told you I had to stay home, and the only thing that I did while staying home was drinking for the better part of the day. So after losing my job, I had a bit of saving that I thought I would, in my mind, lied to myself that I would live off until I got myself another job. That did not happen. I remained unemployed for the longest time. I would be at home and wait to get the next fix. Another thing that put me in crisis was I had a damaged relationship with family and very close friends. Um, as a result of my drinking, um, I was not I wasn't able to be in good talking terms and or in good relationship with my family because everybody wanted me to stop drinking because it was not a joke anymore. I was drinking to live and living to drink, and I wouldn't let anybody talk about my drinking or advise me to cut down on my drinking or um, stop drinking in totality. Anybody who talked about my drinking by default became my enemy. And that is what my family members did. Then they did it perfectly well. They kept talking to me about my drinking and drugging, and just as I've told you, it got me into the wrong books with them. So I'd reached this point in life where I was not tolerating friends. I was not tolerating family. I wanted to be alone. I wanted to be left alone, and you know, that led me to this place where I felt like I was alone on earth. I felt like nothing made sense. I felt like no relationship made sense, and fast forward, I was in this crisis alone. I had this to walk out of. Another thing that made me realize that my drinking wasn't okay anymore was health scare. I began to lose so much weight. I had begun to become pale. There's this point we were down at the coast with my a few friends of mine, and we were drinking, and I dropped to the ground and stayed on the ground for close to a minute. When I woke up, I I I kind of figured out that this was not normal, and I began realizing that I indeed had graduated from being a social user to a chronic user. So healthcare was another reason that made me realize that I had a problem. Number two is family intervention. Family intervention was another reason that made me come to the realization that my drinking wasn't normal and I wasn't drinking like normal people. Uh, my siblings, my parents were always on my case. They kept, when I still had phones, I'll tell you later that as an addict, it's not very easy to have phones because you always lose them. To the point that you even give up on having a cell phone. I mean, a basic mode of communication. So they kept, they persisted, they kept coming, they kept calling, they kept sending me messages, they prayed for me, they intervened, um, to the point that I had no choice but come to the realization that this is not fine. I, 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 I interacted with other people who drank or who partook in the use of alcohol, and their families were not calling them. Their families were not on their case, telling them that they need to stop drinking. Then I realized, why is it just me? Why is it not the other person? That's when I came to realize that this could be a problem. This could be a problem. I remember um, one day I was down in the country, and my two sisters had to drive all the way from the city um, down to the country and look for me. And they successfully found me because I was in this drinking spree. I had not been home for some time. I was in the woods. I was missing in action. So I was very surprised to see these two siblings of mine walk um, into the drinking den that I was hanging out with friends that I had disappeared in, and it brought me to the realization that why do they have to look for me? Other people are drinking out there. Nobody's looking for them. And it opened my eyes into one thing. In as much as I did not accept immediately that I had a problem, but it opened my eyes into seeing that this was not normal drinking. Third reason that made me realize that there was a problem was I had an emotional and mental breakdown during this period. My goodness, man, I was an emotional wreck during that phase of my life. It was a difficult time for me to conceive, I mean, to interpret what was happening in my life. And just like I've told you, I resorted into being by myself. I did not want to be in the company of other people. I was secretly, I was secretly crying for help, but there was this thing that kept stopping me from going to ask for help because, um, one thing addiction does and does perfectly well is crippling self-will. It even stops you from um, going to people to ask for help. I was in a bad place emotionally. I had a breakdown, a mental health breakdown, and I needed help. but I just did not know how to ask for that help. Help was, funny thing is, help was all over around me. The people who surrounded me at that point were able to give me help. But again, just like I've told you, the science of addiction is a complex science. It's a disease of the brain. And I faced that for the longest time. I was in my own space. It's a painful experience, especially having a mental breakdown. It was not very easy. However, my depression brought me to the realization that that there was a problem, and this problem needed to be fixed. The final reason, at least for now, is my unsuccessful attempts to stop drinking by myself. This made me realize that there was a problem in several instances, and I believe in the life of most addicts or alcoholics or recovering alcoholics. They have always attempted or given it a shot to stop drinking or drugging by themselves. Man, sometimes just don't look at the addict and say, no, this guy's playing. This is a joker. They're not making attempts. I mean, they're trying. Yeah, so I gave it a shot. I was always trying to stop using by myself because, I knew that I could be able to do it. I knew that if it is something that I had learned, I was going to unlearn it, But that was not the case. And that is what made me sick. I was like, why am I not stopping this thing? I started this thing by my own. Why am I not able to stop this thing? I'm a knowledgeable guy. Yeah, I graduated from the School of Health Sciences, so this shouldn't be an issue to me. And that is what I told myself when I began to realize that I'm having a problem. I said, no, I mean, I study health sciences, so I'm going to be able to get myself out of this. But that was not the case. I made several unsuccessful attempts to stop drinking by my own. In fact, after very dangerous episodes of drinking the previous evening, for example, the next morning I would tell myself, man, I'm not going to drink again. However, that was not the case. I would still find myself drinking and drinking heavily. And as a matter of fact, every time I told myself that I was not going to drink again, the next time I drank like fish. I drank seriously. Yeah, so that made me come to the realization that my drinking wasn't normal anymore, and I needed some sort of help. If the help was not coming from me as an individual, because I had started to begin to think that I cannot be able to help myself anymore, and there is nothing as disturbing as that. You're in a problem and you can't help yourself out of it. So that gave me the idea that I had graduated, unfortunately, from being a social user to a chronic alcoholic. In my next videos, I'm going to be talking about a series of things again. I'm going to be talking about denial. I'm going to talk about when I decided to seek help. So keep tuned to my videos. I believe it's going to help an addict out there. I believe it's going to help you who's just started to use alcohol or substance to tone down or cut down in totality, so that you don't end up like I was close to 10 years ago. I am here to answer your questions. I'm here to help you out of whatever problem you are undergoing as an addict or as a recovering alcoholic. Do not despair that it's not gonna happen. It's gonna happen. We do recover. We do recover. Just give yourself a chance and forgive yourself. Because I know as a recovering alcoholic, you're having a lot of regrets. You are having a lot of things to deal with, especially in your active addiction days. Forgive yourself. That is how you begin recovery. Before forgiving yourself, it can never begin. Forgive yourself, give yourself a chance, and you're going to um, walk over your addiction. Thank you very much. Do not forget to do not forget to subscribe, and by that you're going to be able to know when I upload my next video. Thank you very much, and may God bless. Bye.